Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to my presentation on how to be a successful fitness entrepreneur. My name's John Gorman. Here's a little bit about me and my qualifications so you can know more about who I am as I go through this presentation. So I've been a diet coach for 10 years. I'm involved in a lot of bodybuilding competitions with athletes, powerlifters, CrossFitters, but I've been a trainer for since 2007. So I've worked with people that just need to get into shape, elite athletes, basically anyone that just wants to better themselves. I've done a lot with diet, training, nutrition, supplementation, and I've learned a lot over the years, and failure and learning from failure is one of the big things. Whenever I speak to people or I give presentations like this, I like to come back to the fact that I've learned a lot through failing and finding better ways to do things. So when it comes to being a successful fitness entrepreneur, that's one of the key take-home points that I'm going to get to right off the bat. So I'm going to show you a lot of things that I failed at when it comes to building businesses, and I've learned from and found better ways to do. I own Team Gorman. It's a contest prep coach company, myself and Leslie Franklin, and we also own the Fat Muscle Apparel Company. I'm an author. I've written 2 books, The Flexible Fat Loss Solution and Metabolic Capacity and Reverse Dieting. Both of those are on Amazon. I co-own the Physique Summit Conference along with Cliff Wilson, and I speak all over the place, colleges, seminars, bodybuilding competitions and camps, things like that. So something I'm very, very fortunate to do. This is just to kind of let you know who I am if you've never heard of me or this is your first time listening to me talk. Here's an overview of what we're going to accomplish today and some of the topics we're going to talk about. We're going to get to the fact that you've either started as a personal trainer or you've been a trainer for a while and you're wanting to grow your business. Now what? And then we're going to also talk about the current landscape of the fitness industry. We're talking about starting now. So most of you, we're going to talk about starting now, and we're going to talk about whether you're an employee or you own your own company. So you're either working for someone as a trainer or you're an entrepreneur and you own your own business. We're going to talk about social media and building your personal brand, extremely important in this day and age. You really can't do it without it. We're going to talk about content, and if you notice up there in all caps, content, because that drives everything, as you'll find out. I'm going to talk about the 6 things that you can do to grow your business right now. 6 very, very important keys that I learned over the years that really helped me grow and explode my business in 2 to 3 years. I want to pass those on to you. We're going to talk about some of the different avenues that you can take when it comes to long-term planning. So a lot of people get caught up in the here and now, but I want to have you start thinking about what you'll be doing 5 to 10 years from now, so those actions that you take now really start to feed that grass and the grass seed, if that makes sense, to when it grows and it's growing tall and it's growing firm and plentiful. That's what I want you to see. I want you to think about planting the seed now when you build your business and what you're going to have 5 to 10 years from now. And then I'm also going to talk about education, and most of that's going to be outside of school. So ways that you can learn to better your business, better your knowledge on nutrition, training, supplementation, all those things outside of school. All right, so you decided you want to be a personal trainer, or you already are a personal trainer, you're wanting to take it to the next step. You want to take the next step and grow your business. Now what? So the thing that I want to point out, we are literally sitting in the greatest era ever to be an entrepreneur, especially a successful fitness entrepreneur. You've got all these different avenues through social media, being able to have a website. You think back in the 90s and before the internet really took off, a lot of people, they were successful trainers, they were only successful in their city. If they got real lucky, they would expand out to a region or maybe across the state. There weren't a lot of national or worldwide known trainers back in the day. It was just a handful. So we're living in the greatest era ever because everything we do, we can put it out for everyone to see on the internet through social media and other mediums, message boards and things of that nature. And let's talk about money. So there's a lot of money to be made in the fitness industry. There's ethical ways to make it, and there's non-ethical ways to make it. There's fast ways to make money, a quick buck, and then there's ways to think long term. Everything I'm going to talk to you about today is with the long game involved. Now, you can make good money right off the bat, and there are a lot of people doing it, but I know a lot of trainers that can easily start off making $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000 a year working for themselves, and that to me is successful right off the bat. And if you really, really get good, you can make 6+ figures because there's a lot of good trainers that I know, that I'm friends with or colleagues with, or I work hand in hand with on different projects, they're all making 6+ figures, and it grows from there. So there's a lot of money to be made if you do things the right way, and long term you can really make a good living. The thing that you have to think about is, do you want to be an employee or do you want to be an entrepreneur? So if you want to be an employee, when you first start, you'll have to get certified. You'll have to have school under your belt most of the time, and then you need to find out what gym or what fitness center, or maybe what individual that owns a personal training studio you want to work for. You have to find out what certifications you need, what education you have to have, what kind of experience you have to have, if any. And you might just be working for someone making minimum wage, training clients. You might be making $7, $8 an hour, whatever minimum wage is these days. I haven't kept up with it. And that's a good way to start. Or you can go all in and you can start your own personal training business. And a lot of people start on the side. Like I started on the side. I used to work at the Greene County Park Board in Springfield, Missouri when I got out of college. And I started training people on the side. Every Tuesday and Thursday night I would get 1 or 2 clients. And I started building it up until I could actually take it full time. And I didn't go full time until 2010. So that gives you an idea of kind of what avenues you need to look at. You need to decide what you're going to do and which path you're going to take. So let's talk about the current landscape. With social media nowadays, everyone is a personal trainer. So like if people really love the gym, they think, hey, I want to be a trainer, or I want to be a diet coach, or I want to be a fitness entrepreneur. And it's very, very easy to portray that you know what you're talking about, especially if you have a good physique. If you've had a good transformation, maybe you've dieted down, lost 50 pounds, and all of a sudden, these people think that they're diet coaches or they're trainers, and they have very little experience. Listen, I changed a water pump on my car one time. That doesn't make me a mechanic. It doesn't make me qualified to go work on other people's cars. You certainly wouldn't want me working on your car to change anything out, even a water pump, even though I've done it one time. So with the fitness industry, that's kind of rampant. There's a lot of bad coaches out there. With social media, it's very easy to make a name because especially if you have a good physique and great genetics, you can spread pictures of yourself and you can give tips and all this stuff, and you can appear legit through social media. And a lot of people don't know because they don't know you personally. The fitness industry is very watered down right now. Like people are taking full advantage of social media and the ability to take advantage of people who have no idea. Newbies, like we can call people newbies, people that have no idea about training and nutrition or supplementation, any of that stuff, and they see someone with a great body or someone with a large Instagram following that looks like they know what they're doing. A lot of people have jumped on that bandwagon, so it's very, very oversaturated right now, very watered down. There are a lot of good trainers in the industry. There's a lot of bad trainers, like a lot. I would personally say, and there's no data to back this up, I'm just going off of my own thoughts, probably 30% of the trainers out there are actually really, really good trainers. 70% right now are the people that are trying to be what they probably shouldn't be. They're those mechanics that have done a little bit of work on their car at home, and now they're trying to be mechanics. There's a lot of that in the industry. Even though we're very fortunate right now, this last bullet point I want to talk about, we're very fortunate because of social media being open in the current landscape. That door to get in is rapidly closing because so many people are doing it now. It's very noisy, if that makes sense. So we have a great opportunity, but the door is rapidly closing because everyone's trying to pile in. So think about it, it's almost like if you're trying to get in an elevator and there's 1 or 2 spots and we're all trying to squeeze in there. That's what's happening with social media and the fitness entrepreneur side of the industry. So let's talk about social media and building your personal brand. One thing that I like to tell, a lot of people ask me, John, should I use Facebook? Should I use Snapchat? Should I use YouTube? Should I use Instagram? One thing, you have to find out what your strength is. So if you're great at taking pictures, Instagram will be great. If you're a great storyteller and you have a really, really good personality and you're great with things like Snapchat, you might want to use Snapchat and Instagram. If you like to do videos, such as the one I'm doing right now, you can put those out on Facebook because Facebook really likes that. If you're good at typing out stories and providing valuable content and things like that, Facebook might be the best for you. So you want to take advantage of all of them that you have a strength in and learn how to use all of them. But the main thing that you have to remember, where is the attention at that you're target audience is. So whoever if you're a 50-year-old that's gotten into shape and you're a trainer and you want to target other 50-year-olds, you have to think about where's their attention at. Are they using Snapchat? They're probably not using Snapchat as much as Facebook. So wherever people's attention is at, that's where you need to go. So wherever your target market's at, you need to make sure you go there. Probably the best one that I think anyone should start on is Facebook. Like if you're watching this and you don't have a Facebook page, which is very, very rare these days, you need to start a Facebook page and you need to start spreading the word of who you are and becoming your own personal brand through social media. And then start to learn the other channels, but definitely start with Facebook. Another thing is everyone is their own brand. Like I said earlier, you don't want to be out of shape, because when you're building your personal brand, you have to represent what your product is. Like you're a walking billboard of what you do. That's why I strive to stay, I'm not shredded. I don't stay shredded year round. It's just not in my genetics. Like this is me working hard 95% of the year on the diet, training 100% of the year, and this is just the genetics I'm built with. However, I feel very, very fortunate to not have injuries or anything like that, and I walk around and I look like I train. So if you're an overweight trainer, you really need to get that under control, and you need to get in good shape, because you're a walking billboard. So that's part of building your personal brand. It's visual. One thing that you need to do when building your personal brand is avoid apps that auto-reply. So if you have Instagram, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You get these random comments from people or generic comments. Don't do that, because all that shows is that you're just giving fake interaction, and that turns people off. Also, you don't want to purchase likes for your page. You know, whether that's follows through Instagram or likes on your Facebook business page. Those are basically pointless, because you don't get interaction out of those. You're trying to trick people into thinking that you have a large following, but that does absolutely zero for you if there's no interaction there and there's no value exchanged back and forth. Like you can't provide value to a bunch of fake accounts that, you know, from you know, overseas that like your Facebook page. Like there's no interaction there. So don't do that. People sniff that out really, really quick, and you lose your credibility right off the bat. Build relationships. That's part of building your personal brand and using social media. So when you post things on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever platform you're using, you need to interact with people. So if people are going to take the time to comment on that picture that you just posted of your transformation on Instagram, and people get on there and say, hey, nice job, like what was your diet like, and things like that, you want to interact with those people. Like make it a point. They took time out to congratulate you, or just to even comment. Hell, they may even get on there and say, listen, this isn't that impressive, or is this real? Like they may even take a negative stab at you. Still address those people, because it shows people that you're in it to communicate, and that's the whole, you build relationships. Plus, if someone takes a negative jab at you, that gives you a chance to convert them over to a loyal follower, because you don't want to go after them, but you do want to correct them, and you want to show them your point of view. And at the end of the day, you may not agree with them, but the interaction is there, and people respect that. So I know a lot of people, they think it's cool, they have a large following, they think it's cool to act like they're too busy to interact with people that comment on their stuff. That's bullshit, because I'm telling you, 9 out of 10 people with a large following still have the time to be able to do that. So don't start getting into that bad habit. And then the other thing is provide value as a trainer or diet coach or fitness entrepreneur. So your posts on Facebook, Instagram, wherever they're at, they need to provide value to the people listening out there. If you think about it, watching this video right now, this is going to be uploaded onto Facebook. It'll also be on YouTube. So you need to think about this. I'm providing value through this presentation, right? That's going to create a connection between you watching and me giving the presentation. So you might comment on the Facebook post, and you might say, John, I really like this, I had a question here or there, and I'm going to interact back and forth, and I'm going to provide value to you. So you need to think about that when you are making posts. You want to provide value to the people that are actually tuning in and actually who care about this stuff, the content that you're putting out. Once you do that, you have a loyal friend, you have a loyal follower, and when people think of anything they need help with, like think about it, whenever you think about being a successful fitness entrepreneur, you're going to think back to this and the value that I provided here. So anytime you post something, think about it, is it providing value or not? All right, here's some more points continued. We're just gonna jump right down to the bottom picture because they stand right out. You'll notice there's a booty picture, there's a meathead over in the corner. Don't make all of your posts just about you and your latest booty picture in your yoga pants, or if you're a dude, like if you're a meathead, your latest picture all swole up talking about how great the pump was in the gym. Like, if you want to create value, that's not value. Like, people don't get value. Sure, it's fine to post stuff like that every once in a while because you're proud of the gains that you're making or your transformation or whatnot, and you feel good. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but not every single post. And there's also, you can tell, like there will be girls, for example, on Instagram, they can post a booty picture and get 3,000 likes, or they can post a picture of their meal that they really enjoyed eating and they get 100 likes. So you kind of see what that following is like. Is that a valuable following? No. So is she going to be able to sell diets and training plans and stuff like that to her followers? Not very many, because they're all there just to see a picture of her ass, if that makes sense. So think about that, and don't just make every post about yourself and it's over the top like that. One of the things that you can post, look up here at the second bullet, post client results or your results. That shows people that you're the real deal and you have what it takes. Before and afters are a very, very powerful thing, especially when you tag the person that had the before and after. That shows real world proof that you know what you're doing. Because you want to show people your craft. You want to show them how well you interact with your clients and do a good job and get them results. So post things like that. Another thing that you need to do is build a website, put content on your website, but then link that content out to your social media platforms. So I have a website, it's team-gorman.net. I write articles there. I have another website called johngormancoaching.com. I write articles there. I link those out to Instagram and to Facebook. Those are my two main ones. And it provides value for people. It gives them articles to go read. So you really need to have a website this day and age and be able to link out stuff to your platforms. One other thing is, storytelling. A lot of people like to follow the journey. They like to follow the story. So tell your story. Like, if you don't have a lot of clients to post before and afters of, or if you're just getting started, you have a journey, right? You can post your results. That's how I started. I started doing the Body for Life Challenge way back in like 2007. And in the gym, like, I didn't have social media then, I started posting pictures every 4 weeks of my journey. I got a ton of clients from doing that. I was passionate about it. That's why I posted the pictures. I wasn't a genius, but it worked out very, very well. Next thing you know, people were following my journey and they wanted to hire me. So do you see the connection there? If you don't have clients to post results about, post about yourself. Tell about your journey. It's still telling people who you are and what you do. It's a very, very powerful thing. Storytelling is amazing. All right, content, all caps, content. Extremely important. The first thing that you need to do with the content you provide, and when I say content, like a post on Facebook, for example, think about this. Are you solving someone's problem? So a lot of the times I'll write on Facebook, they're called knowledge bombs of the day. And I'll post like one a week and they get a lot of shares all over Facebook. And I'll post about whether HIIT cardio or steady state cardio is better for fat loss. That's a good example. And I'm thinking about this. Am I solving someone's problem, or am I answering their question? That's another way to think of it. If you do, you're providing value to those people. But you should always think about your potential clients and think, how can I help you? How can I solve your problem? If you do that, people gravitate towards you and they'll think of you when it comes time to hire you as a trainer or a diet coach. Also remember, when you post on social media or if you give advice anywhere, 99% of the time, if you're good, or even if you just slightly, you're just getting started, right? You still know more than most people in the gym, right? There are very, very few experts. The people that are going to be hiring you, you're going to be the expert in the room. So don't be afraid of speaking up on what you believe. Even if someone challenges you, that's fine. Debate back and forth. You might even be wrong and learn something from it. And if you can admit that, that's a very, very good thing. It's a very powerful tool to be able to learn from your mistakes like that. But just remember, you're the expert, so don't be nervous. It's like when you're walking around the gym and you see someone doing something wrong and they ask you for help. Remember, most people that are going to hire you, they're not experts. They're just general population that need to lose fat, get into shape, and feel better. So don't be scared to make posts and things of that nature to show who you are. Okay, one important thing, right? We're going to go down this highway of jab, 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 right hook. And what that means is give, 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 and ask. And your content does that for you. So does your content, your post that you make, does it provide value to someone? So when I posted about HIIT cardio versus steady state cardio being better for fat loss, I gave value to people. So I've done that so many times over the course of the year, right? I'm giving back, I'm giving, giving, giving. Then when it comes time for me to ask, like when I have a book launch, I provided so much value to the people that follow me. I'm able to ask, hey, would you kindly share this out? I'm about to launch my book. Here's a book. Would you buy a copy of it? Would you recommend it to your friends? When you provide so much value to people, you can then go ask later on, and they'll be loyal to you, and they'll come back. And most people will go ahead and buy or hire you or do whatever you have going on, be part of your event. Remember, it's not give, 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 take. It's give, 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 ask. Give value, provide value, give great posts. Do all that stuff for a long time, and then once in a while, you can ask for people to support you and support whatever it is that you have going on. Something else you need to ask yourself, do people think of you when they think of hiring a trainer? If they don't think of you when it comes time to hire a trainer, you're not doing a good enough job showing them who you are and providing good content on social media. Really, really have to think about that. You have to be able to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. All right, let's talk about the 6 things that you can do right now to become a better trainer and to up your business. These are so bulletproof, like I will guarantee these will work if you're relentless with them. The first thing you need to do is you need to have extreme focus on every client that you have right now, or if you're just starting and you have 1 or 2 clients, you need to focus on them like a laser beam. You need to be so dialed in everything they do and be over the top with your interaction with them and helping them in any way. Listen, if you have clients that don't know how to grocery shop very well, go to the store with them and take them grocery shopping, right? That kind of stuff is going to build loyalty. It's going to give them value, and they're going to tell 5 or 10 of their friends when they're getting results, hey, John just took me to the grocery store and taught me how to read labels and how to shop, right? Was it out of my time? Of course it was, but who cares, right? You're thinking long term here. Remember back to the beginning, we're playing the long game. So you want to have an extreme focus on your clients like that. You also need to post 3 times a week on your social media platforms, whether it's before and afters, whether it's your story, whether it's some kind of content where you're giving back and you're educating people on how to read a nutrition label or what protein, carbs, and fats are in a food. You just need to provide content out there to show people who you are and what you do. 3 times a week. That's all. You don't have to do it every single day, especially if you're new, but start with 3 times a week. There's always different stuff that you can talk about. Another thing you can do is form a team. So take your clients, and listen, I don't care if you have 2 clients or if you have 100. Form a team, because a team atmosphere is always better than just doing things by yourself. So if you just have 2 clients, go find a 5K to train for and run with your clients. If you have 5 to 10 clients, take them out to dinner once a quarter and celebrate their success. Or maybe it's every 2 months. I don't know, like you have to feel it out. Take them out to dinner, you pay for the tab because you appreciate them. And all of these things they create loyalty, but it's also a way of telling them thank you because they're paying you their hard-earned money to work with them. But you're also creating a team bond. So what do you think happens when you take your clients out to dinner and you tell them thank you, and you need to genuinely mean it, by the way, it needs to be genuine, or there's no point to doing it. You take them out to dinner, they're having great success, and they have 4 or 5 people say, hey Linda, you've lost like 10 pounds, like you really look good. What are you doing? They're gonna be very happy to refer those people over to you, right? It's all these little things that add up. Go the extra mile. Kind of touched on that, take people grocery shopping. Listen, if you've just got a couple clients and you're not slam busy full, and you've got a client, a female client that's has a bad hip or something like that, she has to move, she doesn't have anyone to help her, listen, go help her, right? She needs her tire changed, go change her tire. Go the extra mile for your clients because that creates loyalty. The other thing that you have to do is educate yourself constantly. You have to constantly be learning. Not just through failure, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more here in a second, but you need to educate yourself outside, like study the top trainers in the industry. That's what I recommend. Study the top trainers, see what they do, and kind of kind of follow in their footsteps as far as a business model. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I've done that before. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You can learn from other people and you can learn from their mistakes. Like I've done that with a lot of coaches out there, some of the top coaches. I see some of the stupid shit that they do and I'm like, you know what? I'm never going to do that because I just saw what happened to them. So study other trainers and coaches, but constantly educate yourself. Evaluate yourself, find ways to make yourself better. That's huge. That's another thing. And then a final, this is kind of a bonus one, be relentless with all of these steps, rinse and repeat. All right, let's talk about education outside of school. I run the TNT podcast, so I'm going to give it a shameless plug over there in the corner. We talk about training, nutrition, and it's the truth. TNT, the TNT podcast. It's myself, Sal Frisella, Dr. Chad Kirksick, and Tyler Fisher. So that's something you can go learn a lot through podcast. You can go to conferences. There's all kinds of conferences in the fitness industry. You can go meet people, learn on different topics, learn about different stuff. That's another great tool. Just find the ones that fit whatever you're doing because there's a lot of different ones. Follow the top trainers and coaches in the industry that you're passionate about. So if you love CrossFit, find out who the top CrossFit coaches and athletes are, follow them and learn from them. The other thing that you can do is collaborate with other trainers or hire a trainer that's better than you. So I've learned from great trainers and diet coaches in the past. I learned how to run a business. I watched their model. I learned how they dieted people and wrote training plans and all that. Like it fast tracks you. So don't be afraid to be able to hire somebody that's very good at what they do and be able to, and just be honest with them. Be like, listen, I'm really wanting to learn so I can better myself as a trainer or a coach. And a lot of coaches are open to that. Most people, it's a show of respect is what it is. Just be upfront with them and you can learn from them. The other thing is you can collaborate with coaches. So, you know, Cliff Wilson's a good example. He's one of the better coaches in natural bodybuilding, and our clients have just, you know, gone head to head. Him and I have gone head to head for years as two coaches in natural bodybuilding with our clients doing pretty well. And the thing what we did, we started collaborating together. So we did some podcasts together. We actually own a business together now called the Physique Summit Conference. Like we collaborate and we do things like that together. It's just good for the industry and you can feed off of that. Reading books, that's another, it's kind of something you just don't see a lot of people doing anymore. Most people, they're listening to audiobooks when they read. That's fine. However you like to listen or read books, whether it's on your phone or a hard copy or listen to them, that's fine, but constantly educate yourself through reading. Things like Gary Vee's book called Jab, 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 Right Hook. That's what I referenced earlier, Gary Vaynerchuk. There's all kinds of different books you can read. Tim Grover has the book Relentless, like you can read that. Just find what you like and read and continue to educate yourself. And remember one thing, the more you learn, the more questions you're going to find that you have, because you'll never find the answer to everything. And you're going to find out the more educated you become, the more you realize you really don't know, the more questions that you'll have. Let's talk real quick about different avenues to pursue in a 5 to 10 year plan. Let's talk about side income, because most people make money as a trainer, you know, with people hiring them to do their diets, you train them one-on-one in the gym, and that's your base money. Like that's what you live off. But over the course of 5 to 10 years, you can start to make side income, and that's money that will start to generate and it kind of runs itself. So some examples of that would be guest speaking. Like you can eventually, you know, this is after you get enough experience, you know, 5 to 10 years of experience or what have you, and you become an expert, you can go guest speak at seminars, at conferences, you can guest speak at gyms, like whatever. Like I've talked all over the place, and it just really depends on what people need. So that's something that you want to think long term, 5 to 10 years from now. You can podcast, right? People aren't ready to start a podcast right off the bat because, you know, think about it. If you're just starting out, you don't have the experience to be on a podcast and to give enough value and lessons learned through a podcast. But over time, you will. Podcasting is easy to start up, it's free, and it's a great way to get your name out there. You can start a video series on YouTube, for example, something like I'm doing now, and you can put that out. You can write books. You can use places like I sell my books through Amazon. It's done through CreateSpace. I'm self-published, but you can write books. But you need the experience, the time in the trenches to go forward to be able to sell books. But think about that. The 2 books that I've written, that's the one there in the corner, the Flexible Fat Loss Solutions is the newest one. That makes me money now. I've written it, and every month it generates money for me, and that's side income. It's not my normal income, it's my side income. You can sell supplements. You can become an affiliate with a lot of different supplement companies, apparel companies, and things like that. So that's something to think about. Or you can even start your own apparel company. Like this is mine that I started with my fiance Leslie and my son, my 16-year-old son. It's called the Fat Muscle Project. We started that this year, and it's doing well. So all of this stuff that you're doing now to build your brand and to build your business, think about this long-term 5 to 10 year plan. Are you going to be able to implement stuff like this? And if you do, then you're really starting to talk about taking your success to the next level. Like there's successful trainers, and then there's successful fitness entrepreneurs that are maximizing all that experience that they have. 3 quick take-home points, and then we'll wrap this up. Just remember to work extremely hard. Like nothing beats hard work. Everyone wants to go in and talk about what it takes. Few people want to actually put in the work day after day after day. Be aggressively patient. It's going to take you time. I've been doing this for 10 years and I still have a long ways to go. So it's going to take you years and years and years to get a ton of traction, to finally get where you're going, and then you still don't slow down. So be aggressively patient, all right? Work hard, but realize it takes time. That's what that means. And be relentless with all of this stuff. Relentless and hard work, that goes together. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you later. Thank you.